senseless acts of violence. I mean, there's no call for it.
A new effort to crack 2 unsolved murder cases. Gaffney's new police chief says whoever killed an 8-year-old and an 18-year-old last year needs to be caught. Chief Chris Skinner is only a couple of days into his new position. He's appointed 2 detectives to solely work those cases. 7 News reporter Nicole Smith is joining us in the studio tonight to explain why the chief thinks this is necessary. Nicole.
Well, Tom, the chief says these cases are major priorities. The homicides happened back in August and have really rocked the community.
Shock. I mean, a lot of stuff like this don't usually happen, especially around here.
It was just a few months before Lyman Dawkins III got elected to represent Cherokee County's 1st District.
Shots went off, and my wife was hysterical, and I was hysterical, and I grabbed him, and we ran to the restroom.
Down the street on Lincoln Drive, Gaffney police say several people started shooting, and Jasmine McGill was fatally shot in a yard on August 7th.
That could have been anybody.
McGill was 18 years old.
When you've got 20, 30 people out there, somebody knows who had the weapons.
2 weeks later, police say Cameron Bradley was in town visiting relatives when someone shot up the house off West Buford Street.
Very evil person.
Bradley was hit and died at the hospital at 8 years old. Police found 15 shell casings.
You don't do something that's stupid without somebody else knowing it.
Day 1 on the job, Gaffney's new police chief appointed 2 detectives solely to work on the Bradley and McGill cases.
I've told them to start back at the beginning, start interviewing people.
Chief Skinner says they've gotten tips, and whoever knows the killers should speak up.
The best thing for him to do is turn himself in, because we're going to catch him.
Chief Skinner says officers will be working to build relationships with the community to protect its citizens and get justice for the victims' families.
It shows a good sign that they haven't forgotten about the 2 victims.
And Chief Skinner says before this, the 1 detective assigned to these cases had other cases to work with as well, so they had their hands full, but now 2 detectives for 2 individual cases, Tom.
So, Nicole, what do we know about what's the missing piece in these 2 cases? What does the chief need to happen to solve these 2 cases?
Well, he says he needs the help from the community, essentially. He says he doesn't know if people are just afraid to come forward, afraid to speak up for their own safety, but he says he wants everyone to know that they can have their identities and the information remain confidential if they speak up on these cases, Tom.
All right, we'll see what happens with these investigations. Nicole, thank you.